It's Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. Breaking news. Tonight.
You could find the most sophisticated lawyer in America. Well, can we do this? Well, probably, because it makes sense, it looks fine, but we can't actually give you an answer. You create that framework along with the adaptation and the utility, and I think you have a perfect storm for this thing just going to the moon, as they say.
Donald Trump Jr. just declared, "We're going to the moon," which is bold, considering the closest he's come to a launch pad is his dad's Truth Social meltdown over low poll numbers. At the Bitcoin 2025 conference in Las Vegas, Don Jr., America's most overcooked nepotism side dish, and Rumble CEO Chris Pavlovski revealed plans to build a $2.5 billion Bitcoin treasury for TMTG and Truth Social. That's right, the Trumps are pivoting from bankrupt casinos and stake scams to digital gold, hoping the crypto crowd forgets they once sold NFTs with worse art than a DMV pamphlet. Jr. admitted he wasn't an early adopter. "We were real estate guys," he shrugged, conveniently skipping the part where they also ran a fake university, a vodka brand, and whatever Jared was doing in Saudi Arabia. Now, though, Trump Jr. says he's seriously on Bitcoin, backing 3 major deals, including a partnership with mining giant Hut 8. Pavlovski likened Bitcoin to Rumble, both having faced media beatdowns and regulatory side-eyes. But apparently, with a pro-crypto White House, the vibes are bullish. I'm Max Volts, and this is Crypto Wars, where the Trumps ride Bitcoin like it's a gold-plated golf cart straight into the meme markets. And while Don Jr. was promising moon landings and Bitcoin treasuries, Square was out in the Vegas streets actually doing the thing. At Bitcoin 2025, Square, the block company formerly known for helping hipster baristas accept credit cards, unleashed live Bitcoin payments using the Lightning Network. No wallets to configure, no seed phrases to memorize, no staring at your phone wondering if you accidentally tipped someone in Paraguay. Just a scan, a tap, and boom, crypto coffee achieved. The pop-up demo ran inside BTC Inc.'s merch truck and marked Square's first real-time Lightning deployment. Behind the scenes, the usual block ecosystem: Spiral, Bitkey, Cash App, and a whole suite of Bitcoin tools aimed squarely at small businesses. Scan a QR code, pay in BTC, and if you're not a hodler, Square auto-converts it to dollars faster than a politician changes their stance on inflation. Over 1,000 businesses are already using Block's Bitcoin conversion tool, and they've seen their BTC holdings grow by 70% in the last year. Block's long-term plan? To turn Bitcoin into the native currency of the internet and give small merchants the same tech Wall Street gets, minus the champagne and lobbyists. No stablecoins, no CBDCs, just Bitcoin, a QR code, and the dream of decentralized capitalism slinging t-shirts and lattes. And while Bitcoiners partied in Vegas, Wall Street got a fresh injection of crypto. This time from Circle, the stablecoin issuer behind USDC, which just filed for its long-anticipated IPO. The company's gunning for a $5.65 billion valuation, aiming to raise $624 million by selling 24 million shares on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker CRCL. That's right, USDC is going public, baby. The same token that's been quietly gluing the crypto markets together is now getting the big boy suit treatment, with Cathie Wood's ARK already eyeing a $150 million bite of the action. Not to mention, Circle's market cap has grown 40% this year, while rival Tether's just waddled along at 10%. Stablecoins used to be the background noise in DeFi, good for trading, parking profits, or dodging volatility. But lately, they're getting invited to the geopolitical table. Banks and fintechs love them for cross-border transactions, and lawmakers are suddenly acting like these tokens might just help prop up US dollar dominance in a world where fewer countries want to hold treasury debt. Speaking of DC, the Senate just advanced its first piece of crypto legislation, focused on, you guessed it, stablecoins. Trump says he wants it on his desk by August. Circle's timing? Impeccable. Also, shout out to Coinbase, which co-founded USDC and rakes in all the interest from USDC on its platform, thanks to a 50-50 revenue split with Circle. That IPO glow? Coinbase might catch some too. If this IPO lands, it'll mark a turning point, when the glue that held DeFi together put on a tie and walked into Wall Street. And now we go to Japan, where the bond market is basically reenacting Titanic. And spoiler alert, the boat is already halfway underwater. In just 45 days, Japan's 30-year government bond yield surged 100 basis points, wiping out over $500 billion in value. The 40-year bond, once considered the grandpa's gold of investments, has dropped over 20% in price. Liquidity, worse than 2008. Inflation, rising. Wages, falling. GDP, contracting. This isn't just a red flag. It's a flashing neon sign that reads, "Welcome to Financial Doomtown." What sparked this? The Bank of Japan decided to slam the brakes on its bond buying spree, which basically nuked investor confidence and flooded the market with unwanted paper. Japan's debt-to-GDP ratio now stands at a cartoonish 260%, making the US look like a thrifty college student by comparison. As panic sets in, guess what's stepping in as a lifeboat? Yep, Bitcoin. Investors are rotating out of bonds and into BTC, faster than you can say yen carry trade unwind. Both Japan and the UK are seeing massive spikes in Bitcoin exposure, just as their long-dated bond yields hit multi-decade highs. Analysts from Block Trends to Bitwise agree. The bond meltdown is pushing institutions toward digital assets. Bitcoin isn't just a speculative play anymore. It's becoming the escape hatch for a system built on IOUs and central bank pixie dust. In short, Japan sneezed, and the whole financial world just reached for Bitcoin instead of a tissue. And now, from IPOs and liquidity crises to literal off-grid rebellion, one rogue developer just dropped a hackathon entry that could take Bitcoin where no Wi-Fi dares to go. Introducing Darkwire, a project built by an AI student with a pseudonym and a vengeance. It lets you send Bitcoin transactions without the internet, without power, without cell service, just pure LoRa radio waves and cypherpunk spirit. Here's how it works. You create a raw Bitcoin transaction on your laptop, shoot it via USB to a tiny radio rig powered by a microcontroller, and that sucker beams the data across a mesh network of radio nodes. It bounces node to node until one with internet access finally launches it onto the Bitcoin blockchain. Think Bitcoin meets ham radio, but for disaster zones, authoritarian regimes, or just that one friend who insists on living in a cabin. The range? Up to 10 kilometers per node. The purpose? Complete censorship resistance. No ISP, no telecom overlords, no firewall thick enough to block this signal. It's like Tor for your Bitcoin, but built for bunkers, borders, and blackouts. Yes, it's still a work in progress. And yes, there are limitations. Low bandwidth, dependency on an internet exit node, and you'll need to tinker with a bit of code and copper. But the direction is clear. Bitcoin is not just surviving, it's adapting for the battlefield. In a world where financial tyranny is just a policy flip away, Darkwire proves the signal can always get through. Well, folks, that does it for tonight's transmission. And remember, we can't fight this war without your support. Each click is gunpowder. Each share is artillery. And detonating that subscribe button, that's an airstrike on the fiat regime. I'm Max Volts, and this is Crypto Wars. Good night, stay sovereign, and stay spicy.